Our officials, Bart Lennox, KB Burdett, and Vlad Voyard-Tadal. Trevin Brazil, one of the 5 starters for this Arkansas team in year 2 under Coach Calipari. Isn't it good to have college basketball back?
Yeah, I know it's October, but man, I love seeing this place full. I love seeing these Razorbacks and Bearcats getting ready to go at it.
And we are underway. Cincinnati off a 19-win season a year ago. Some new experienced players coming through the portal. There's Abayev, the freshman, with the miss and a foul on the Bearcats.
He loves to give you that little jab step and maybe a little crossover to try to freeze you. He's got length with that 6'8" frame and a nice jump shot that he showed against Michigan, going 3 for 6. He's a guy that could be a problem for the Razorbacks tonight.
Foul on Miller. Here's your starting lineup for the Razorbacks. I don't think there's any surprise with the starters. Acuff, Wagner, Knox. How about Trevin Brazil, the catch and the flush to start the scoring?
You gotta love it, a little ball screen to a back screen lob. Great read, great pass by Acuff.
Miller on the drive. Kick into the corner for Abayev. There's Kriisa. Might remember him from his days at Kentucky or Arizona or West Virginia.
You can get it going, and he's looking to always. He had 9 field goal attempts versus Michigan. All 9 were from the 3.
Carter Knox with the miss. In fact, this Cincinnati team, they knocked down 12 3-pointers in that win. Shot almost 39%. That one, though, blocked by Brazil. And a save to Chom, and his shot will not drop. And there's Pringle. Joe, we're going to see him with a lot of rebounds this season.
Yeah, he's long, and he's got.
They did not count that basket from Acuff. So Arkansas will inbound. These teams have played 5 times in non-exhibition games. Cincinnati leads the series 3-2, but Arkansas did win in a game in 2021 in Kansas City. Cal's below water, though, underwater against Cincinnati in his career at 6-7. And Arkansas to inbound. DJ Wagner. Carter Knox waits for the flyby and then buries the triple.
Great job by DJ getting in there and drawing the defense, and good patience by Knox.
Certainly Arkansas thrilled to have Carter Knox back after a flirtation with the NBA and going through the combine. There's Abayev. He will miss. Trevin Brazil can't gather in the rebound. Chum will collect and shoot. There's Knox to clear. See if Arkansas can get something in transition. Pringle, nice move, and a basket at the rim.
Little spin cycle there. Brett took him baseline, got the big boy's feet moving, took him back to the middle. Nice move.
It's been quite a journey for Nick Pringle, his basketball career. We'll talk more about that later on, but a good beginning for Arkansas. Thomas with a fadeaway 3. Back tap by Miller. And there's an easy slam from Chom, the Senegal native and UCF transfer.
These guys are long. They're going to shoot a lot of threes, but they have the athleticism and the length to run them down, the offensive rebounds, and get another attempt.
How about Trevin Brazil stepping out a long-range 3, and he'll bury the triple. And there's Abayev, another miss, another rebound for Brazil. Well, Trevin knocked down the 3 and looked like he wanted to go from one end to the other.
Yeah, he really looks bouncy. He really looks stronger. Expecting big things from him.
New uniform number this year for Trevin. He was 2, then 4, now 7. And there's Darius Acuff with the drive to the rim, and West.
Especially in bed when you hear yourself say this, trying to win the game, but you know they want to play and get a look. With all these transfers nowadays, you're trying to get a feel for your team and what your strengths and weaknesses are. And in environments like this, under this kind of pressure, it's a great testing area to see what you got.
A little worried about their attention to detail. Well, that will be tested tonight against the Razorbacks. Arkansas off to a good start in this exhibition game at Budwell. Much better. Good beginning tonight for Arkansas. One of the few times tonight the shot clock has been down to single digits, but Acuff will pull. Philly Richmond got a hand on it, but it's out of bounds to Cincinnati.
Nice defensive possession there by the Bearcats. Stayed in the stands, talked, switched, communicated, kept the Razorbacks on the perimeter. Nice job.
Dribble handoff to Day Thomas. There's an open three from the corner and a miss from Atari. Extra pass to Acuff. Long again, and Abayev will rebound. Those guys were McDonald's All-Americans, both Abayev and Acuff and Malik Thomas. That was a real nice get, though, for Cincinnati to get this 6'8" freshman out of the state of Florida, an overtime elite.
Yeah, he's number 22 player in the country. I think one of, I think 8 to 10 McDonald All-Americans in the history of Cincinnati.
This is Nick Pringle. There's Malik, Darius Acuff, along with Abayev, part of the McDonald's All-Americans, always a prestigious honor. Now in shoot-around today, if a Razorback missed both free throws, everybody booed. So fortunately for Pringle, he didn't miss them both, or his teammates would have had to boo him right in the middle of the game.
Tough crowd.
Indeed it is. How about that fight for the basketball? Arkansas can run. Billy Richmond with the hammer.
You play around with that ball, Cincinnati, and don't get it moving inside, outside the side. These Razorbacks.
He didn't win the competition. Trevin Brazil did. We'll show you why a little bit later on. But this team has tremendous athleticism, and I think you get to see it when they're playing loose and free, and it started late last year, and now we'll see against this gauntlet of a schedule if they could just pick up where they left off.
And you can guard, you can get after people and get into a little rhythm and transition. It makes the game a lot easier offensively.
Cincinnati's had to burn a couple of timeouts. Day Thomas. Rodriguez has made 1 3, but you see Krisa getting pushed back towards midcourt.
He's having trouble penetrating that defense. They can't get in.
Rodriguez is going to inbound. Krisa. Defended by Isaiah Seeley, the 6'7" freshman from Springdale in the game. Coming in with some fresh legs. Thomas, high off the window, too high. Rebound Thomas. Hawks coming back 4 on 3. Trevin Brazil couldn't catch it. Back to disrupt was Miller. He's seen a couple of dunks already as Baba Miller, and he didn't want to see another.
Yeah, I think they kind of saw TB about, a little over half court, a little bit ahead of the ball, and there's some urgency by Baba Miller. Great defensive deflection there. Saved the basket.
DJ Wagner to inbound. DJ trying to get downhill. There's Thomas, open look. Missed the 3 ball. Seeley got his hands on it, but it'll be Bearcat basketball. Good look at Isaiah Seeley, again, the young man from Springdale who is part of a couple of teams that finished runners-up in state championship attempts. There's going to be some nights when Kirk Krisa is just going to rein in 3-pointers.
Well, again, he's not a guy, in my opinion. He can play off the bounce, but if he can get that ball moving inside, outside to side, and let him get those puppies set, he's going to knock down more than he misses.
A couple of times Thomas has tried that runner, too strong off the window. Now the Bearcats will push. Miller, open look. Thomas rebounds the miss, and that was just ripped away by Nick Pringle. Wagner with the step back three.
Almost.
Just about rattled it down.
Yeah. Hope the backboard's okay.
Kriisa goes to the deck, no whistle. Sealy the rebound. Isaiah Sealy follows his miss. How about Trevin Brazil? He's tried one long three. A little bit of a sloppy sequence here in the last couple of minutes. This is Cham. Went to spin baseline and didn't realize quite where he was on the floor. Thomas, quick release. Knockdown three for Malik. Joe mentioned just trying to prepare this team. I don't think there's going to be another 0-5 start in league play, but he threw this gauntlet out there because he had so many returning players.
Yeah, he likes his team.
Team jump shot. All of a sudden, Acuff Jr.'s come alive, 9 points.
I like his poise. I mean, he is not forcing it. He's taking it, what's given to him, and he's playing really good defense, active. Very impressed with him so far.
Joe, I mentioned his time at IMG. His father played him up, sometimes 3 or 4 years, and he simply said, we knew this time would come when he would be a freshman going up against older players rather than being one of the younger guys. And that was a nice drive from Abayev, the other McDonald's All-American. But this whole plan has been in place for Acuff Jr. for a long time.
Well, he plays older than he is right now. I mean, he's got good vision, not that time, but he's been under control.
He knew we were talking about him, had to turn one over.
The jinx.
The Bearcats going the other direction. We've got a timeout. Settle things down just a bit. The Razorbacks up by 15 over Cincinnati.
He had to play through some things. He had to experience some things, but I think Calipari would be at practice. Coach would be always talking him up and encouraging him and telling him he had more, we needed more, he had to give us more. And then as those two things started to come together, playing well in spurts, the spurts became longer and the confidence grew. And I'm with you. I think he's going to have a good year.
A couple of makes from McKinley. I should say Miller with a couple of free throw knocks down. Arkansas shooting almost 56% from the field. There's Carter Knox. He gets that to roll down, and he'll have a chance to complete a three-point play.
Yeah, they caught him sleeping in the corner over there with a little ball watching. You'll see him looking up there, and all of a sudden, oops, where'd he go? Baba's looking at Trevin just a little bit. Carter reads it perfectly, gives him a little jab step, gets to the basket, but then again, the catch and the finish was really good. Like we talked about earlier, strong young man.
Carter did admit a couple of weeks ago that he was just overwhelmed with texts and calls when he decided to return. He did say, there might still be a few I haven't returned, because as you could imagine, Razorback Nation was excited when he announced he was coming back for another year.
I know I was.
Good first half for Arkansas. Day Thomas twisting, spinning, not scoring. Numbers aren't there, and Knox will not push. Billy Richmond says he's been working on that three-point shot. It's something he wants to get better at. Last year he made just 2 threes all year. Little floater from the baseline, wouldn't fall from Miller.
I like that from Cincinnati then, though. They penetrated and got a good look. That's what they got to do. Get those bigs down on the block, and penetrate and dish it to them.
Nice move from Brazil, no finish.
And I like that too. He can get to where he gets a little three happy. I like see him getting in there and shooting that hook with that. I like also.
That's a nice also. Nice add-on. Well, that pass touched about 4 different hands, but it went off Arkansas. That was a fastball. 18 points in the paint for the Razorbacks, 4 3-pointers. Cincy would love to make a few more of those threes. Carter Knox couldn't quite get there, but Thomas does. Acuff. How about a knockdown? That's 12 first-half points for Darius Acuff Jr.
He looks poised. Love the energy by Thomas. Love the poise by Acuff.
Acuff was the Allen Iverson Player of the Year, finalist for the Naismith High School Player of the Year. Baba Miller, fouled by Billy Richmond. Couldn't quite believe that call went against him.
And again, if Cincinnati is going to get back in this game, they got size, okay? I mean, and Arkansas switch. You get Billy Richmond on Baba Miller, okay? That can't be a jump shot. Again, maybe a bad call, but again, the mismatch and him putting his shoulder in there and being aggressive, he's got the advantage. More times than not in that situation, if you reach in there against a guy with size that's protecting the ball, you're going to get the foul.
Miller last year at FAU, 34 starts, averaged more than 11 a game. Also was at Florida State in his career. Trending towards about 90 seconds here in our first half of this exhibition game. Malik Ewan also back in. Acuff starting to feel it. He'll go to the line. Now we'll see, Joe, if both of these coaches might experiment a little bit with some of their personnel in the second 20 minutes.
Yeah, you're going to, again, these exhibition games are freebies. They're mulligans. And so you get a chance to do some things that, you may not do when you're up 20 or down 20 in a normal game.
Brazil working his way in. Lets that one go. Rebound hauled in by Ewan. A couple of long misses there for the Razorbacks. What does Cincinnati need more of in this second half?
You got to get stops. I mean, the only way you get back in a game like this is stops. And they've taken 23s and made 5, and they've only shot, I think, 5 free throws. So 3 out of 5 from the free throw line. So that's got to flip here in the second half. They got to get downhill, get into the lane, get to the free throw line and get some stops, and then look for the 3 ball.
That'll be a make from Miller. His first shot from the field.
Ball touched sides of the floor. Ball went inside. It was reversed, and they got a really good, clean look, and he knocked it down.
Good start to the second half for Cincinnati. Thomas not bashful. Billy Richmond with a takeaway.
That was a freshman shot by Thomas.
And Billy's going to draw the foul on Sham.
And right now, Cal's telling him it was a freshman shot.
The one thing Malik told me earlier this year, it's not just the shots to take, but when to take them. I don't know if that would qualify for either one. The shot you want to take or the time you want to take it. He was ready to go again and drew the blocking foul on Kriisa.
One thing you like about guys like Malik Thomas and Billy Richmond, as a coach, you would rather pull on the reins than have to whip the horse.
There's one gear for those guys, and it's pedal to the metal.
It's so much easier to say, hey, pull on the reins instead of trying to get them to run and get them to go.
DJ Wagner a little quiet offensively in that first half with 2 points. That shot was partially deflected. Miller down the lane. Couldn't coax it in. That's what he'd like to have back. How about that pass? They say Ewan is like a point center. He found Trevin Brazil with a no-look pass for the flush.
And again, you got to love the patience by Ewan, but you got to, Cincinnati, you got to communicate and you got to get back defensively. Trevin Brazil running to the basket untouched is something you might want to think about.
It's hard to miss him. Another rebound for Ewan. They talk about his handles, his passing ability. We saw a little bit of that. And a knockdown from Malik Thomas. He just keeps firing. Billy Richmond compared Malik Thomas to Rob Dillingham when he was at Kentucky, and I had to look up Dillingham's numbers. He averaged 15 a game and shot 44% on three-pointers in his lone year.
Yeah, he's got great skills, and a lot of times he's so athletic that it looks like he's out of control, but just then and there, he's able to compose himself, catch it, and knock down the three. If he can shoot the ball like that with that end, a great testament to this coaching staff.
So many times I would ask the returners sitting down for interviews about this freshman class, and they, to a man, would say almost the same thing. These freshmen don't always act or look like freshmen. There will be freshman moments, but I think you're going to see a few where they look advanced beyond their years.
Well, I agree with you. So far, that is spot on.
And Ewan draws the foul from Sincere Harris. Cincinnati's shooting percentage has actually gone down. They're below 27% in this game. And, you know, when you talk about Arkansas's aspirations of going deeper in the tournament, you also ask these guys what it'll take. Most of them will say defense. And Joe, that's come alive in aspects of this game.
You've got to be able to defend, get stops, 2, 3, 4 stops in a row to get back in games or to put people away, especially late and in the February and March when you're playing against competition that's going to be equally as athletic, equally as skilled as you are. The ability to get 2, 3, 4 stops in a row to get from a 10-point deficit to a 3-point deficit or take it from 5 to 15 in your favor is huge.
Malik Ewan to the line. He got there 121 times a year ago at Florida State. He's been at Ole Miss, South Plains Community College, Florida State, and Arkansas.
I've been everywhere, man.
That's 2 more stops than you.
Sounds like an NBA veteran.
That's right. Bearcats again scored 100 at Michigan. Did give up 64 in the second half to the Wolverines. Like to find a little bit of flow. Abayev can't hit. And a whistle blown by KB Burdett.
And again, when you look at that possession by Cincinnati, and again, it's early, and against a team with length and athleticism, you got to move it.
Day-Day Thomas turns around and there's Hewitt in his face. Kriisa couldn't catch it cleanly. And there's a nice knockdown from Chum, who had 15 against the Wolverines, 4 so far this evening.
You got to like that from Cincinnati. They had showed great poise there. And again, the ball moves side to side. Miller drives, finds the guy in the three, for the three in the corner, doesn't take it. Gives up a good look for a better look, and he knocks it down.
Ewan collects. Wagner with a determined drive. There's Brazil. Easily will throw one down. And TB with 12 in the game.
Veteran guard play right there. Got in the lane, not panic. Gives it up.
How about a block? That's one area Arkansas thought they might be a little lacking with no Big Z, but I got a feeling Trevin might get a few of those this year.
Well, I tell you what, if you're going to go up on these guys, Ewing and Brazil, you better go up high and get it up high because it'll go back at you.
A third of the entire arena at some point before or after or sometimes during a game.
Love Arkansas. If I had a picture of you guys like that, I'd put it on TV too.
Yeah. You have to know somebody to get that one up on the screen. Fun to go on that Wayback Machine every once in a while, but it's been fun to look forward to this 25-26 campaign for the Razorbacks. Day-Day Thomas can't keep one down. Rebound to Pringle. Acuff on the drive, and he will draw the foul from behind from Miller.
And again, you know, he sizes it up. He sees that he's got a big on him, and the big is kind of trying to close out to him. And again, just good poise, sees the gap, attacks the hip. I mean, and it's hard to keep those hands off and not get the 35, 40 minutes a game. Now he can get them out, get them a blow, and get them back in.
Acuff told me the guy that he really focuses on is Dame. Feels like Lillard is the guy that maybe he's most like, the way they kind of get some of their points. I'm not sure Dame's going to take it from one end and hammer one down on the other, but regardless.
You know what? When I see guys like that, I'm like, man, beat Acuff. You start. I don't like comparing because, I mean,
it's tough, right? It's a different
Lillard's
world.
a bad dude.
He is a bad dude.
I mean, he is a bad man, and I don't like putting that on.
You
kids.
might get a kick out of this, though, Joe. He said he likes to go back and watch old Chris Paul tapes too.
Yeah,
the way
and
back
I mean,
machine.
I don't mind them studying them
Sure.
and watching them. You know, and if they want to emulate them or try to emulate them, those are great people to try to emulate it. But I don't like when people compare, because, I mean, when you start saying, oh, he's the next, Lillard, or,
It's tough to live up to.
People just don't realize how good those guys really are.
Carter Knox was ready to try and blast one through as well before he lost that ball out of bounds.
And the competition, especially with these young guys going from high school to this right now, is a huge jump. And then the jump to the next level is even bigger and harder.
Yeah, it doesn't get easier the higher you get up that food chain. Bearcats have found just a little bit of rhythm, maybe. Billy Richmond, we're about to have showtime! Billy Richmond has hammered a few home tonight, bringing Bud Walton to the collective feet.
Man, he brings energy. I mean, he is
He plays
walking.
hard, doesn't he?
He's a walking charger, man. He's just got energy. Go plug into him for a little while.
Hope you heard him at the half. He was talking about going up in Memphis. Pringle's going to get an offensive foul. He said, sometimes I channel that anger you have growing up in Memphis and let it all hang out on the floor. My goodness, has he done that again tonight. And we've got a timeout as we reach the under.
You got baseball, basketball, football. Now you got
right.
going in some volleyball.
Fun time of the year. This is truly overlap season, and Malik Thomas just ran over Krisa and picked up the foul coming out of the timeout. Arkansas shooting 57% from the field. I know they've had their share of dunks and layups, but they've also knocked down 8 3-pointers, part of that formula.
And we were talking in the break, the defense has been great, and you look down and you saw only 10 turnovers, and you're kind of like, man, it feels like this should be, up in the 20s, right, or at 20. But you made a great point, Brett, in that they're pick sixes. So the turnovers have been pretty dramatic from the standpoint of getting easy baskets.
Football team might want one of those tomorrow or at some point. Big turnover, a pick six.
And yeah, that would be awesome.
There's Abayev, the McDonald's All-American. And by the way, one of the schools he considered seriously was Arkansas. It hasn't quite been his night tonight, but he will have a few. He'll launch just as I say that and threw one wide left. It came down to Cincy, Arkansas, Auburn, Oregon, and obviously he was an overtime elite with Malik Thomas. I got a feeling that was a duo that put a lot of baskets on the scoreboard.
Well, pick your poison on that in high school.
Acuff tried to get downhill. Carter Knox hit a 3 earlier, missed that one badly. Easy catch and score for Trevin Brazil, and a chance for 3.
That's what Trevin Brazil I want to see. Active on the board. It wasn't anything dramatic or anything great, but he's in there. He's around the paint, and he's looking to get a rebound, and this time it comes right to him. If you're standing out at the three-point line, you don't get that one.
Averaged just under 7 points a game and 5.5 rebounds a season ago. 14 this evening for TB. Krisa had his pass intercepted. Arkansas is coming back 5-on-2. A bounce to Billy. A lob to Carter. Hill flush. That was pretty. That ball didn't stick there.
Defense, 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 and then off to the races, and then sharing the ball.
That's another knockdown from Celestine. He's made 3 threes for the Bearcats. Acuff had that ball touch about every finger on his way down the lane before it was knocked out of bounds.
And again, you know, you got to get in there as a guard, and you got to have a feel. And sometimes I used to love what Steve Nash would do. Sometimes he would get in there, especially on the baseline sometimes, and he would just start pivoting. Just, you know, he wouldn't jump up in the air and try. He didn't have anything, but he would start pivoting, and then guys would start diving and moving and filling around him, and somebody was going to be open.
That's right.
So, you know, necessarily sometimes you don't have to just drive in there and make a play.
Billy's ready again for another lob. He'll catch and flush. You can see that one coming from midcourt.
Floodgates are open.
It has been showtime from the beginning to the end so far in this game. I think Billy might be limping just a bit. He's waiting for a timeout. He'll go to the corner and stand as Trevin drives down the lane. He's trying to laugh through a grimace, but he might have hurt his hand. I don't know, Joe. He was up there skywalking.
Well, again, if you don't get back in transition, and if Arkansas can play defense like they're playing tonight and get some deflections and get out in the lane, get ready for a lot of this. Because they got some high flyers and some dudes that can get up and down the floor.
Joe, there were times last year where it was just tough for Arkansas to score for 2/3 of the year. And, you know, at times they didn't shoot terribly well from beyond the arc. And again, we know they found it, but this team has the ability to get points in transition, to get some dunks. And if they could shoot well from the line and from three-point land, that's where you look at 82 points with 5 minutes and change to go.
Yeah, they were limited. They were limited in their depth. They were limited in their shooting. They were just a team that really struggled at times to score points, whereas now, again, if you can get the ball movement and the defense, you're going to be able to get a lot of easy things.
Richmond with 10, Acuff with 17, Knox with 13, TB with 15, Thomas with 15. How about Isaiah Sealy? Try to get his first field goal. Nabayev will rebound.
And if you're a player, you're coming into the danger zone with Cal because you start getting a little loose and start doing some things and jacking up some things, passing and shooting. Let me tell you what, he's not loose. Okay, there's 4:40 left in this game. Clock's not running. There we go. And you better play for 4:40.
I think Cal's going to have a different mindset this year. We'll talk about it if this run ends, and we'll see some free throws. You know, Cal said last year, Joe, I had to hold guys accountable. You know, he wanted to keep them together at times, though, last year. He had to keep telling them, I believe in you. I believe in the team. He said, now you might see the other side of me. I've got to make them uncomfortable and challenge them because I've got this talent and depth. And I think that's well said.
Yeah, he had a great line last year. He said, I'm trying, you know, we're playing good. I'm trying to drag them over the finish line. I'm trying to get them to finish a game, to win a game. You know, we're right there. The coffin's got, you know, they put the lid on the coffin. What they say they didn't nail it or something. I mean, he just was using all these things to tell them that, you know, we're going to get there. We're going to get there. Well, now this team has a lot more options: depth, shooting, size. There's a lot of things there, and they're going to have nights like this. And now you got to fight the other side of the monster, because everybody's going to say now, hey man, you're already at the finish line.
Good.
You're already there, man. You're there. There's no more work to do. And now that's when you got to start getting humbled a little bit.
That's right.
And Cal can do that. I've been a part of that.
I know you have. He's got a PhD in humbling if need be at some point. And listen, that game Monday is going to be a good challenge too, going to Memphis.
There's no doubt. And you might see a little, you know, Cincinnati got a little bit of a hangover, beating Michigan. Is Arkansas going to go in there with a little hangover? And then you don't think Memphis is going to watch this tape and they're going to say, man, we better be ready to go. We better be on point. So you're going to be in a Memphis arena that's going to be jacked up, knowing with Cal coming back is just going to jack them up even more. They've got good players. They've got a good coach. And now, are you going to walk in there feeling really good about yourself and get humbled, or can you keep putting the pedal to the metal? Going to be a great test.
1 of 2 for Rodriguez. Sealy rebounds. Raise money for that hospital in Memphis with that event. A women's game also in conjunction with the men's game between the Hogs and the Tigers. DJ Wagner finds Knox in the corner. Was he out of bounds? He was. Arkansas has done that 3 or 4 times tonight. Try and space the floor, and you still have to stay within the parameters of the court. A few guys that have stepped out on some catches. Boy, the shooting percentage from the first couple of minutes, it was in the high 20s for Cincy, in the mid 50s for Arkansas, and that has not changed all game long.
They have, like that shot right there, they've gotten the ball to the rim 7-8 times.